If you're interested in starting yoga, but you just don't know where to start, there are some really important ways and really easy tips that can help you get more grounded in the essence of the practice. The first and probably the most important thing is to make a yoga habit. The idea that every time you practice, it's a big emotional thing that we need to make time for, and it needs to take up a lot of time. This is completely challenging and goes completely against really integrating yoga into your everyday life. So if you're a beginner, the first thing to think about is, how can I integrate the habit of yoga into my everyday routine? So, for example, if you only have 5 minutes a day that you can spare to develop a new yoga practice, think about where those 5 minutes are going to be most consistently and persistently at the same time every day. So ideally, we want to practice at the same time every day. Ideally, minimum 3 times a week, or 6 times a week when we're starting off 3 times a week. So sometimes it's useful to think Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 5 minutes in the morning before I start emails and make coffee and do everything. I'm just going to do a few stretches that come from the yoga practice. And this is a good way to bring the yoga habit into your everyday life and integrate that. Last thing in the evening before you go to bed, to do some movements that bring harmonization between body and mind and help your nervous system calm down could be really great. So the first thing is to make a habit, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or whatever works for you. First thing in the morning, last thing in the night, make it the same time so you can persistently and consistently kind of get attracted to the mat over and over again. The second thing that's really important for beginners to the practice of yoga is to find some kind of inspirational teacher or inspirational figure that can lead you a little bit along the way. If you're just out there thinking, I want to do yoga, but I don't know where to start, find someone that inspires you, and this will really help you get on the path a little bit. It could be a teacher. You could go to class and meet a teacher, and this person really inspires you. You could read someone's book. You can find someone online and say, okay, this person, I'm going to check in with them and just get a little dose of inspiration to keep coming back to the mat. The third thing that's really useful when you're starting off with the practice of yoga is to actually prepare the outfit that you're going to wear the night before. And I know this sounds kind of silly, but sometimes when we have to think and overthink and question what should we wear, that takes up so much time that actually even deciding what outfit to wear, even if it's just a pair of old shorts and a t-shirt, can be an impediment to actually getting on the mat. So sometimes it's useful if you know you're going to practice, say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the night before, choose the outfit and place it as sort of the first thing you see when you get out of bed. So you just get out of bed and change immediately into your yoga clothes or whatever outfit you're going to wear for your practice. This is really helpful to just make that sense of encouragement to actually do the practice, because somehow if you're wearing the clothes, then you kind of get attracted to doing it, whether it's, going to class or whether it's just unrolling a mat in your home or even doing some yoga poses on a carpet in your home. Just giving yourself as few obstacles as possible between you and your practice will be very, very beneficial. The fourth thing to think about if you're new to the practice is to normalize that feeling of kind of light soreness in the body, to understand that when you get sore, you're not doing something wrong, that actually you're doing something right, that when there's a little bit of residual soreness in the body, it means that we did a good practice. Not necessarily the kind of soreness that would lead to injury, that's not what I'm talking about here, just the feeling like you've worked your muscles, get the feeling of, yes, I've done that, and sort of normalize that feeling, and even kind of start to think that maybe you like it a little bit. The fifth thing that I think is important is to create some kind of self-accountability structure that includes a kind of congratulatory sort of applause for every practice that gets completed. Whether that's a practice journal, so you keep yourself accountable, or you have a practice buddy, a friend that you text regularly, or you check in with a teacher, or you have an app that tracks how many times you practice. There's some sort of accountability structure so that you can give yourself a little applause. Yay, I completed a practice today. Do that to yourself as well so that you can think, yes, I've done it, I've completed it. Don't judge the practice by what you were able to do during the flow of the practice, just that you did it. Celebrate the completion, even if it was just 5 minutes spent on your mat. These are some tips that will help you as a beginner actually get firmly established in the practice. And I hope that you find that inspiration and that you keep practicing.